What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel Ace's Place 22, where I'm Ace and this is my place. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like and you subscribe, hit the little bell notification thingy-majigger, leave a comment, share the video so the rest of the world can enjoy this just like you did. Clearly, by clicking on the video, you saw the title, you saw the thumbnail, you know what you're in store for. We are here for an Ace movie review for Harry Potter Year 1. If you're not aware, I will be doing, hopefully, I don't know how accurate of a time frame I'm going to do because I'm kind of lazy. But there are 8 movies, 7 years altogether. They just split the last movie into 2, blah, blah, blah. We'll get to that when we get to that. But I would like to do a movie review and put it out once a week or twice a week if I have to, up until Christmas for the Thanksgiving Christmas holiday season. I think that would be kind of fun. I don't have any other initial plans to be like, oh, we're doing Christmas movies all month long. It's like, no, if we do Christmas movies, we do them. But I thought Harry Potter would be a fun series, franchise to review or just talk about. I don't know how well of a reviewer I am at all. But I just like to talk about the movies and the things that I like. So, let's get into it. Harry Potter, I'll just leave him as this. Harry Potter, Year 1. I don't know if there's a specific time frame in these movies. Like, I know the first one came out, I believe, in 2012. And then they came out, you know, annually up until, like, the last one. Let me see. No, it doesn't say. But the first Harry Potter movie is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I was about 12 years old when these movies first came out, and I'll be the very first one to say that I thought, because I was getting to that teenage, you know, moment of being like, man, certain things are cool and certain things aren't. And I thought in my head Harry Potter wasn't cool. Just without having any preconceived notion of even what it was. Just this nerdy little kid with glasses. But again, had no idea what it was. Little did I know, when the movies came out, because I believe the books obviously had come out way before, or at least a few years prior. Because I do remember being in school and the books blowing up. But when the movies came out, I do remember watching them, just not really following them, to be honest with you, as a kid. Just being like, oh, okay, this is the new thing, this is whatever, blah, 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 blah. But as the years have gone on, the more I watch them, the more I absolutely love them. I think they are wonderful films. I want to say we watch them every year around this time. That is why I thought it'd be kind of a cool idea to do the Harry Potter films for a review this time of the year. But it just, I forget them. There's 8 of these movies. I forget all of them in between because there's just so much going on. But the first Harry Potter movie, man, let's talk about that one, right? You got Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, Rupert Grint? What the hell's this boy's name? It's not going to say it here. But tons of different actors and great actors in that in the movie. You've got Alan Rickman, or Alan, I want to say Richardson or Rickman. There we go, Rickman. Alan Rickman. There's too many actors with similar names, and we're going to get into that here in a minute, because I was corrected the other night in the live, which was appropriate, because I don't want to give the wrong information. I don't know if it's John Hurt, whatever which one it is, but they're in this movie as the wand salesman. I'm forgetting anybody else, but there you go. There's tons of good actors in this movie. It's a very, very well-directed movie. Chris Columbus, whatever you want to call his first name, directed this one along with a few others in the franchise. But it absolutely, if you grew up with these movies, which, like I said, I did, but they weren't a staple as a child, but they definitely were there. Because they were the big thing, right? You couldn't ignore them. But if you grew up with these movies and you're watching them now in your 30s and whatever age you're in, I'm in my mid-30s, they're very nostalgic. Like, watching the first one, I'm sitting there smiling ear to ear with my daughter, and I'm just like, we've watched these movies a handful of times in her lifetime, and it's just seeing the magic that they were able to bring to life in 2002, or what, it would have been sooner than that when they started, production of these movies. But just the way they're shot, the actors in them, the kids in them. Usually I'm like on kid actors, but all of them are great. Everybody's great in these movies. They're just super, super fun. But it starts, I'm not going to go beat for beat. Let me just say that right now. But you have this child who was, in this horrific series of events as this little baby. He gets left with his aunt and uncle because something happens to his parents. He is marked for life with a little lightning bolt on his head, which later comes into like what is going on in the story. He's left with his aunt and uncle and their awful, awful son. And it is just a terrible time for Harry Potter in his, formative years up to he's like I don't know how old he is going into the school. I would say about the same age as me, prepubescent. So, but the boy is in high spirits. He gets letters from owls saying, "Hey, you're going to this really awesome school." His aunt and uncle, they're absolutely against it. And then we meet Hagrid, the big old beautiful Hagrid, man. And when they do I don't know if it's the same as like what Lord of the Rings did, where it's the what the hell do they call it? Forced focus? Is that what it's called? Forced perspective? I don't know what they call it. Where they make someone look really, really, really huge, and then they got someone looks really, really small. They did that with the Hagrid character. In all of the shots, it looks natural. I'm gonna yawn. Speaking of natural, just yawning. It's just fun. Like, they did a very good job with it. But he comes, scoops up Harry, tells him that famous line that I always have in my head of, "You're a wizard, Harry." And then you just see Harry like, "Oh, I'm a wizard. I knew something was different." But he didn't have his mom and dads to tell him that, right? So here he goes into school, meets his friends along the way on this train. You see the fun little magic that you will absolutely fall in love with throughout the franchise right here in the beginning of the movie as they're playing around with different candies. They're casting little goofy spells on each other and just the banter back and forth. You feel it right from the beginning that these kids, at the time, however movies you thought they were going to make, but you could tell that these three kids were absolutely connected. It's great. It's freaking great. And this is what makes the Harry Potter franchise fall in line with like Lord of the Rings and the original Star Wars trilogy, with the consistent chemistry of everybody, of all these unknown randoms that you just throw together because something special is going to come out of it, and absolutely did it. So they're on the train, they get to Hogwarts. You see, you get introduced to like the bullies that are consistently there throughout the entire franchise, all the other teachers, a lot of fun stuff. One of my absolute favorite scenes, and I don't think it's not in the rest of the franchise absolutely enough, and that is the Sorting Hat, which is all of the new kids. They come into school, they sit down in front of all the other students and children at Hogwarts, and this magical hat gets placed on your head and it talks. "Oh, what class do I sort you into?" That kind of thing. Like, it literally figures you into which house: Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, or Slytherin. It's one of those four. And it's a fun scene because you see all the kids, getting to go to the houses they want, or vice versa. And then when it gets to Harry Potter, because he has this aura, this tale that everybody knows who Harry Potter is. Like, people shudder. You know what? I skipped the whole scene when Hagrid is taking Harry Potter to Diagon Alley and you're getting introduced to all that stuff too. But it's all there. But the Sorting Hat, it messes around with Harry for a little bit because it knows Harry doesn't want to go into Slytherin, and it's just enjoyable. And then it eventually is like, "Gryffindor!" And I don't know. It touches me. It's fun. So The whole movie, though, centers around this Sorcerer Stone, this item that can help bring back to life this character known as Voldemort, which is the individual that has this looming shadow over Harry Potter's entire life. I don't want to spoil the movie, so I won't go into teeny tiny little details like that, but this is an overarching character that is very prominent in the ongoing future of the franchise. You get a little bit of a glimpse of him here and there, a little bit of his flavor throughout this movie, whether it's hearing his voice, feeling his presence, seeing this character, so to speak, out in the woods doing this, horrible act to an animal. No, it's not something dirty like that. It's whatever. But it's very well done. I remember being a kid, and I do genuinely remember being like, oh, this is weird. Like, this is what Harry Potter's about? Definitely takes a very, very, I don't want to say very, very dark turn, or it takes a very different twist right at the end of the movie that I wasn't expecting because I never read the books. So I personally didn't see it coming, and that's what hooked me, was absolutely the twist, let me just say, of the villain. I liked it quite a bit. I liked a lot of the movie when I was a kid. You've got unicorns, minotaur people, like a dragon. You've got a three-headed Cerberus dog. You've got giants. The magic is there. The acting is there. The locations are there. The Quidditch scene where Harry Potter is learning to, or not Quidditch so much, but learning to fly on his broomstick. And then, yes, there is the entire Quidditch match, which is fucking awesome. I love that crap. And I don't have them anymore, but I used to have the original Harry Potter Legos when I was a kid because I absolutely thought they were great when they came out in the later years of the movies. I remember, definitely getting like the Prisoner of Azkaban sets. But having the little Quidditch, I still do have one of those. It's just a fun movie. It's a 2.5 hour film. I'm not going to talk about the entire thing here. I'm going on about 15 minutes. I'm not going beat for beat in this flick. I'm just hitting the bullet points of what I think is great. And it definitely, I love the way they wrap these movies up and even get them going, because they're book centric. And when you have a movie or a franchise or a film, or when you have something that's like something, when you have a movie or a TV show, at least in my opinion, that's adapted from a book, it gives you a much easier palette to take from and to adapt. So what I mean is, these movies are year one, start, and just like how the movie is. The movie starts and it ends. Year one, boom, boom, close it. And then when you come to the second movie, it's year two, start, end, boom, boom. They never do a time jump where it's like, oh, it's been 2 years. No, you literally see every year of these kids in Hogwarts. And I lost my train of thought. I don't even remember now. Other than they're just a good movie. My brain just shut off because I started thinking about food. Isn't that terrible? There's a scene in here where the food is, but wrapping it up like a book. It's easy to bookend it like they do in the first one, where it's like, all right, school year's over. You guys are gonna, head back home to do your guys' own thing, and you as the viewer, you're like, oh, well, that's a nice little, ending with a bow on it, because it has a nice, fulfilling ending with leaving a little bit more wanting. And not just leaving it as a cliffhanger like, well, what's going to happen now? You kind of have a general idea. Okay, the kids are going back home. Ron Weasley's going to go back to his home. Hermione Granger's going to go back to her home. Harry's going to go back to this awful aunt and uncle and cousin. And that's like the big dread of the moment, in my opinion, other than like the Voldemort stuff, because we know what's coming with Harry Potter. We don't know what's coming with the Voldemort character. I know it's kind of confusing, but such am I a confusing person. So it's a nice way to be like, all right, that's a satisfying ending. And I appreciate that quite a bit because it's just a decent way to end a movie. Other than that, I'm done talking. If you've never seen the Harry Potter movies, I definitely recommend them. Start off with the very first one. It might be a little dated to you because, again, this movie came out in I always say it like that. I'm so used to saying 2012, 2022, 2025, 2002, maybe 2001. So sure, it could feel a little dated, but I think the CGI is pretty good for being 2001, over 20 plus years old. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Check them out. Other than that, I'm Ace from Ace's Place 22. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And until then, until next year, we will see you guys next time.